everyone, it's Kathy, and you're back here in my craft room and on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Thanks so much for being here. If you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed, please take the time to hit that subscribe button. And if you ring that little bell that's right there beside of it, that lets you add me so that every time I put up a video, you can be notified, or when I go live, you can get notified to know that I'm up and I'm doing something. So it's just a way that we can stay connected. I do have a blog post, and everything that I do, all of my PDF tutorials, the pictures of the card or the item that I make is all posted there, along with the video. So if you ever can't find a video that I did, you can go back to the blog post per the date and look for that particular post, and you can have the video and the instructions and everything right there for you. I try to do that to make it easy, and it's a one-stop shop for everything Stamping Up. You can click on a link within that blog to go shop with me. Any announcements that I have this cute little set called Horse and Sleigh, and it's a bundle, so you get the stamps and the dies. And it's such a cute bundle. So this is going to be the star of the show today. But we're going to bring in some other things because I needed a sentiment. The sentiments on this one really wasn't what I wanted. I did use one of them, but I needed something for the inside. This is a very good stamp set for giving inside sentiments, because there's a lot in here. You've got a happy birthday, sending you smiles for every moment of your special day. That would be so cute on the inside of a happy birthday. May you enjoy the warmth of family this season. That's great. These two right here I use quite often. With a little more sparkle and a little less stress, let's make this Christmas the very best. I like that one, and I also like this one. May your days be happy, your heart be light, your Christmas merry, and the new year bright. So these are great ones for Christmas. So I pull this one real often, and you can see from my blue sticker, that is in our annual catalog. I'm also going to be using the Stylish Shape dies, which is also in the annual catalog. And if you notice, these have red stickers on them. Anytime you see a red sticker on something that I'm working with, that means this is an online exclusive. You cannot buy this from any of the catalogs. You have to go online to the online exclusives, and if you go to my website, you click in, and in the search, if you type in online exclusives, it will take you there to everything that's under the umbrella of online exclusives. Now, they have moved some stuff in there that was in the annual catalog. They have moved, they have some special stuff that has never showed up in the catalog. So it's kind of a modge podge of a lot of stuff. So go check that out, because you might find something that you really love. But this Horse and Sleigh is such a beautiful set, and I want to show you my prototype so you can kind of get an idea of what we're going to be working with today. This is my prototype. Isn't that beautiful? And I did a little bit of special stuff to this one. That's the inside. But I thought it turned out really super cute. This is a nice big stamp. You can stamp really well. And then I used some Designer Series paper, and I also used Designer Series paper, and I cut these leaves out. I just fussy cut, and that turned out real well. So let me show you the supplies we're going to need. Of course, we're going to need all of our stamps and dies. So it's actually 2 stamp sets and 2 die sets. So not a whole lot, but a little bit. Of course, we're going to need our paper trimmer. Let's move this out of our way. We're going to need our paper trimmer, and I've got it right up here. We're going to need our gold trim. Now, this comes in a pack, gold and silver, and I think I used the silver not too long ago. But I love it because it's so sparkly, it's easy to tie, and it just makes a wonderful element on your card. Our card base is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score that at 4 1/4. We're going to have a mat on the front, and we're going to emboss this, so that's going to be really pretty. And this one is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then we have this little piece that we're going to put in the middle, and this is from a designer series paper. And this one is called Shining Brightly. And this is also where I got, so this is this pattern right here. And this right here has a yellow sticker on it. So this is in our mini catalog, our current mini catalog. So I use that. And if you noticed on this piece, there's like a little corner missing. That's where I got those leaves from. And I just sat and fussy cut them, and it wasn't hard. It was just as easy as trying to stamp and heat emboss. So I thought they turned out really cute. And that's these little leaves right here. And I got some of those pre-cut so we don't have to do it in the video. And then I got this piece of white. This is a quarter sheet of cardstock. So it should be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is going to be for our stamping, for our sentiment, and our horse and sleigh. So what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and start stamping first. So I'm going to grab my Memento Tuxedo Black. And I want to get a stamp block that will accommodate, and I'm using this big one, our stamp, because let's face it, that's a big stamp. And I'll show you when I open it. See how big it is? That is a good size stamp. And I'm wondering, do I want to stamp it or do I want to put it in a stamping platform? I might, tell you what, let me cover my ink back up. And I think I might put this in a stamping platform. And I'll tell you why. I don't want to take the chance of not getting a good image. So I'm going to bring up my stamp wheel. And I am going to put my paper. The good thing about this, you do not have to have magnets or anything. This is a photopolymer, just like your stamps is. And when you press that on there, it stays in place. So you don't have to worry about anything moving. Now you can see that's going to fit right there very nicely. So I'm just going to sit that down, and then I'm going to take my stamp wheel, and I'm just going to sit that back in, give a press, and pick that up. And I'm going to flip it over. I love to flip this because it's just an easy way for me to stamp. So I'm going to put some black. This is the Memento because I am going to use alcohol markers on this to color. And I'm giving it a good inking because I want to make sure that I get a really good impression. Flip it back over. I'm going to line it up and then put it to my paper and just give it a nice press. Let's see if we get a good image. It's pretty good, but you know what? Because I'm going to go back in and stamp it one more time. The great thing about having any type of stamp positioning tool is the fact that you can do this and not run into any problems because you can just stamp back over top of it and you know it didn't move, so it's going to be in the right position. And isn't that beautiful? I'm going to press it just one more time, especially right there. That looked like it was a little bit duller than I would like it. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so I'm pleased with that. So I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to bring a little bit of Stampin' Mist. This is our stamp cleaner. And I'm just going to spray this. If I can get it to come out. You know what? It's getting close to the end of the bottle, and I almost have to hold it at a 90-degree angle to get it to pump. There we go. Now I got cleaner on my stamp. And now I can just take my cleaning cloth, and I love these things. These are on my Craft Room favorites. If you're needing some really good quality cloths to clean your stamps with and things like that, they are like a microfiber. They're actually made as washcloths to take your makeup off. But I bought a pack of them in the gray. and I liked them so good, I ordered me a pack in white that I keep in my bathroom for my own personal washcloths, and especially to get makeup off my face. They are wonderful, but they are equally wonderful to clean your dies with. So I love these, and I always have one at my side. You see me real often with one of these right here beside me, and that's why, because they are just that good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my stamp back in, and I'm going to pull out I got my sentiment already here, so I can just pull this up now. Because I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment too, so we'll have that stamping already out of the way. And I also am going to need a card base for inside my card. So we'll get to that in just a minute. Put my stamp wheel back where it belongs. And so I've got this sentiment that says sending warmth your way. I'm going to do it in black. And for this one, I'm going to use my Versafine because I love the way the Versafine looks on the paper. It's so rich and dark and just absolutely beautiful. So ink that up really good. And I'm going to put this like right along here. And isn't that gorgeous? So what I'm going to do before I go any further, I want to color my sleigh. I'm not going to mess with what's up there because we're going to cut that out in just a minute. And I've got some Stampin' Blends. Now I brought out. Oops, I'm going to start going. I brought out my color lifter because I always have that whenever I'm doing alcohol blending. I have pecan pie, light and dark, crumb cake, light and dark. I have Night of Navy. I think this is Night of Navy. Yeah, Night of Navy. And also Balmy Blue. And I have one real red. And this is the light, I believe. No, the dark. The dark real red and the dark Balmy Blue. So that's all of my Stampin' Blends that I'm going to need for today or for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with my horse. I feel like if I can get my horse colored, then everything else will come together, fairly easy. So here we go. I don't know what it is, but I like to put on a pair of readers when I'm coloring because alcohol blends bleed. This helps me make sure that I'm staying within the line. So this is light and dark. So I'm going to use the dark first, and I'm going to use my bullet end. Your Stampin' Blend markers have, and when you buy these, they come two to a pack, the light and the dark. So I'm going to pull my cap off, and these things can be on there pretty tight, which is good because that keeps your ink from evaporating. But sometimes they're a little bit too hard to get off, like this one. I'm going to get it. There we go. This is my dark. So my dark pecan pie. So I'm going to go in wherever there is some of these lines. think that is all done. So that is ready to run through the die cut machine. I'm going to fan it just a tiny bit and get it where these are all my dies over here. What I was saying is I wanted it to dry a little bit before I press it through the machine, but in this bundle you have these dies, and look at this. Oh, I love it. I love it. You can line this up so easily. Once you get it where you know you want it and it looks good, hold it and then bring some of your little post-it flags. And I like to make sure I anchor everything down from each side and the middle. Now, the other thing we're going to need is the largest banner from your Stylish Shapes. And this is going to work perfect over top of your sentiment. Just about like that. So I'm going to see if I have. I don't. So let's grab one from over here. I'm going to need one there. And one here. Now I can go ahead and send this through my die cut machine without any problems whatsoever, except I just dropped all a bunch of cardstock. That's all right. You know, we can always pick it up. So I'm just going to push this through my electronic cut machine, and I'm going to lay everything on the platform, put a cover plate over it, and send it through. That's what we got. Okay, I got a lot of pieces that came out of this piece. Everything looks cut really well. So at that point, I'm going to go ahead and take I save these because you can get multiple uses out of those. So I just usually stick them over on my die cut machine or over here on the side of my work surface. And then that way they're right there at my hand when I need to use them again. So I love the way those work. They never tear my paper. I don't care how many times I run them through the die machine. They always come out beautiful. So there's our pieces and everything cut perfect. Absolutely perfect. And we got these little bits and pieces of trash. So let's get those out of our way in the trash. And here is our horse and sleigh. Isn't that pretty? And our sentiment. So we got those done. So let's set those up there. Now the next thing I'm going to need is my Stampin' scoring tool, aka a scoreboard. And this is the one from Stampin' Up, and I love it. It has my 1/8 of an inch measurements on it, as well as quarters and halves and 3/4. But it also has the 1/8 on it. So that comes in real handy when we have to do, something a little fancy. So I'm going to put this up in the top left corner. And this is that 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score it right there at 4 1/4. Just like that. And give it a press. Put my scoring tool back into my scoreboard. It has a place in the bottom where your score tool actually pops in. So there is that. So now we're ready to start building our card. And remember, I told you we have a mat for the front that's in basic white. And we're going to emboss this. So let's my bone folder. We need to really press this out. And I'm using my Teflon bone folder because I'm using this dark cardstock. And have you ever done your scoring and did your burnishing, and you would have a shine on dark cardstock? Well, that doesn't happen with the Teflon bone folder. You can run this over your paper as many times as you like, and you're not going to get that. Plus, it's a nice weight of a bone folder. And this is also over on my online, my Craft Room favorites. So If you're in the market for a really good bone folder, I highly recommend that one. And it does have a point on it, so you can score with it. Or sometimes if you're making 3D projects, boxes, or anything like that, you might need to get in the corners of something, and that little point on it is perfect for that. All right, please excuse my voice again. I do see my PCP this afternoon. No, y'all are seeing this video on Tuesday, so yesterday I saw him, but of course I'm recording this on Monday, so I don't have a report as per this video being recorded. I hope all that makes sense. Oh, goodness gracious. It's crazy, crazy times. All right, so I've got my piece of Designer Series paper, and that comes in that Shining Brightly. And this is the one with just the gold stars on it. And it is 3 3/4. I'm sorry, 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. All the measurements is going to be over on the blog, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down. What we need to do now, I'm going to lay this up here. I'm going to take this white piece because we need to, oops, get more stamps there. We need to run it through the embossing folder. And the embossing folder that I chose was the Distress Tile. I love this embossing folder. It's just too pretty for words. And I'm going to lay this, and I'm using it on just about everything because I love it so much. And you get so much texture. And because it is distressed, it looks like you hit and miss in some places. And it's supposed to look like that. So I'm going to move one set of plates, and I'm going to grab my base plate and my specialty plate, and I'm going to run this through my Big Shot switch. And look, you can't see it. Let me bring it up to the light and show you all that beautiful texture. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we got that done. Let's put these plates back over here. I don't think we're going to need a machine anymore. I think we've got everything done that we need to do. We've got our stamping done. We've done our coloring. We need to work on this piece just a little bit. And I tried embossing it in gold, and I did not like the way it looked. It got into my nooks and crannies. So I decided to bring in my Sizzix luster wax. And we're going to put a little bit more on this one because I didn't think the other one had enough to really give a good show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sticky note, and you could do this on a piece of scrap paper. I like the sticky note because I can stick it to my desk, and these are the ones that stick all the way down, and I love those for that reason. I'll see if I can find those, and I'll list them in my online favorites because they definitely are. I'm going to go in. Actually, I need to use a little spatula or something. I'm going to stir this up. What can I use? um, let me try this. Look, I can just take off a little bit and bring it here. You could use take your pick tool for this. I just grabbed another pick that I had sitting up here. But what you also want to make sure of is that you can clean it off. And here we go. So I'm just going to use one of my alcohol wipes, and I'm going to wipe that clean. There we go. Very nice. I don't have any residue, so you could definitely use take your pick tool. I wanted to try it on a different tool before I told you how to do that. I wanted to make sure it would come off. So now that I've got a little bit of my gold paste over here, I know how to use this. You basically just put your finger in it and just smear it around. And then bring it to your paper and just give it a swirl. A little more and swirl it. All I'm doing is I'm working around a frame, so to speak, on this card. I don't need to do the middle because the middle is going to be covered. So let's just keep going. I like that. I like that distressed look on that. Okay, so we've got this ready. So now what we need to do is go ahead and bring our pieces in that we need to do our card with. So here is our first mat, and then our second mat. And if you notice, this looks a lot more gold on this one than this one because I did a little bit heavier embossing. You see the difference? And this is what I wanted this one to look like. This is why I always do a prototype card before I actually bring it to you here on my channel, is I want to make sure that I'm getting the best look for the card that I'm showing you. Nothing wrong with this one. It does have embossing, but it's very light. I don't know if you can see that. And you're only seeing a little bit of that anyway. But I do like this one because it is heavier. Oh, I put that on upside down. Well, it wouldn't really matter, not at this point. As long as I don't glue my horse and sleigh backwards. But see what I mean? That one shows much more of the gold. So I am liking this better already. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and start gluing. And I'm going to use my glue gun for the glue press. And I did hear that these are back in stock. Some people have them back. I will check today and see if they're back in stock where I got mine from. And if it is, I will let y'all know. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of this. Just like that. And now we can sit this down like so. And I'm going to be very careful to get my borders nice and straight, hopefully. I'll turn that over and give it a good press on that side right there, just so we get a good adhesion. Now we're going to center this on top of that. And we're going to put it down the same way with a little bit of glue. And that you just want to make sure you got about the same amount, top and bottom, side to side. So turn that over. And let's go ahead and get some glue on it. And again, I'm going to look side to side, top to bottom. Give that a good press. Now we're ready to put some dimensionals on the back of our little horse and sleigh. Remember I showed y'all about coloring these? I never finished coloring them, so we're going to run out of the ones that are colored, but I'm definitely planning on going back and doing this because I love being able to pull these off and know that I'm getting the backers off when I pull them. And I think it's a wonderful idea doing it that way. It color codes them so you can tell whether you've got the backers off of them or not. And I think that will be plenty. So I'm gonna grab my take your pick. And I'm just going to proceed to pop these off. And I still can tell which ones has a little bit of the yellow on it. So after this video, I'm definitely going to go over the rest of them, and I might even go ahead and color code another pack of them because I really do like that. Now I'm gonna set this down right about here, and then I'm going to bring my horse and sleigh up a little bit higher. Not too much higher because I want to put those trinkets on it. Maybe about there. And then I want this to go on, but I want to put it under my horse's feet and over the runs in the sleigh. Something like that. That's going to be a little hard feat to do. But that's what I want. So I'm going to use some dimensionals on it. And why don't I just grab my highlighter? This is how easy it is to do these. So easy. And it doesn't take a lot, just enough to cover them and so that you know um, what has backers and what doesn't. And you can see it's not a hard process, and it works so well. And this was not my idea. This was a tip that I saw Sharon Armstrong do, and I thought, how genius. And that's what I say. We all learn from each other. So uh, I'm never afraid to say, hey, I didn't know that, because I am not one of those people that think I know everything. Those people can be irritating. I think you know what I'm talking about, because nobody knows everything. And this thing called life is all a learning process, and we never stop learning as long as we're breathing. So I'm open to learning new things. Always have been. Always enjoy learning new things. And I don't know if that is going to work. I think like that looks good. And I don't have to worry about hiding I think I like that better. And that's going to be easier to put down. So let's go ahead and pull the backers off of this. We're ready to put this on. So I'm going to try to slide it just a tiny bit under the horse's feet. Those hooves right there would be cute. Oh, come on, don't stick. Don't stick yet. Don't stick yet. I like that. Oh, I didn't put my ribbon under it. That's okay. That is all right. We're going to do something different, I think. I'm still going to use that gold. Um, Come on. This is so pretty. But I'm going to try. I don't know if I can do it or not, but I'm going to certainly try. I'll try feeding it under. Maybe I can feed it through. It's going somewhere under there, but oh, there it comes. It comes out right there. Look at that. Look at that. I'm just going to pull some ribbon through like this. And let's cut it. I'll cut off about that much. And I'm just going to kind of do some loops back and forth through it. So I'm going to push this back up. Look at that. It came back through it. I love it. I'm going to grab my little tweezers. And that's going to allow me to get in there and pull that. So there's a loop. Now what I want to do is I want to pull this back through. And let's hope we can get that to come back down. If I thought to put this down first, but who knows, this could be a new trend. It's a little tedious, but I think I'm going to get the effect that I want. Let's pull this all up over here out of our way. So let's see if we can get this back over here. I'm gonna hold this down with my tweezers. Like that. So that holds that in place for me. And then I'm going to try to thread this back down. Got it. I got it. And I can pull that one through here. Let's let that go. Now I've got my two loops. That's what I was wanting to establish, is these two loops. And I'm going to cross one over, and I'm going to turn this one and cross it over. Something like that. And get that one out the side right here. Something like that, and this one right here. Then I got a tail right there. That's what I was looking to do. So I'm going to cut this one off about like that. And so now we have one that's running this way and one that's running that way. And I think that's going to hold perfectly. Just like that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the way this card turned out. Now, we've got these little leaves, and I told y'all I fussy cut a lot of these before the video. So I've got these already cut, and then all we got to do is tuck them under here. So I'm going to tuck one right there, and actually got that underneath the dimensional, and maybe one. Don't be afraid to lift your dimensional a little bit if you need to hook something under it, like that. And I got a couple more. We're going to put one under here. Now I don't have a dimensional to hide that one under, so I am going to take one of my mini glue dots, and I'm going to put it, see my backer came off of it before I took it off. I'm going to put it right up underneath the back of this one, and I'm going to tuck it like that. Love it. And then I've got this little one that's going to go right there, and I think for this one I'm going to put glue on the back and just tuck it down like that. And we got more, so let's go ahead and stick a little bit more in here. I would like this one, maybe right there. Again, I'm going to go in with glue. And we're going to stick that one like that. And then I got a couple of these little bitty ones. I think I'll stick one of these right here. So again, a little bit of glue. And like that. All right, we got that all done. We do need to cut a card mat, so I'm going to go off camera, and I'm going to cut a card mat, and I'm going to get my trinkets, and we'll meet right back up. Be right back. Okay, so I've got a mat, and this is a standard size mat to go into an A2 size card. So it is 4 by 5 1/4, and it will fit in here. Just like that. So what we want to do is I like to do my stamping before I glue it in. That's just a precaution that all card makers should do. Do your stamping first, just like when you're doing something like this. Build your card, get everything ready, and then build it up. That way, if you make a mistake, you're not running the whole card. You're just running the piece that you're working on at that moment. I also cut a piece of this Shining Brightly paper. This was from the paper I used on this. And I cut a 1/2 inch strip, and I think I'm going to put that at the top. And I want to stamp inside. I think I do. Y'all know how indecisive I am. I think I'm going to do this little piece right here because I just want a little something jaunting up from the back corner. I already have that loaded because I had that already planned. And I'm not used to being that organized. So I'm going to grab my Night of Navy, and I had it right here somewhere. Oh, it's right here in front of me. So I'm going to go ahead and do my stamping on this piece first. Now I'm going to wait and put that on last because I don't want to take a chance of getting that somewhere I don't want it. So I'm going to ink this up pretty well, and I'm going to stamp kind of right here. And then I'm going to stamp again in this direction. And then I'm going to come over here and stamp down that way. And see how that gives just a beautiful little corner right there. Now, I still got space up here to put this. So I'm going to lay it there. Smooth that stamp. And I'm going to bring in with a little more sparkle. Maybe I want to do the other one. What's the other one? That's from the very best occasion. May your days be happy, your heart be light, your Christmas merry, and the New Year bright. Let's do that one. That'd be something a little bit different and from the other one. And I'm going to put that up right there. And it still gives us enough of room down here to sign. So let's go ahead and take that one off and lay it over there. And then I'll pick this one up like that. And one thing I did on my other one, I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And to put this down, I'm just going to run a bead of liquid glue. Like that. Give it a good press once you get it on there. Now I'm ready to go ahead and do my stamping. If you notice, I've been putting my stamps on like that in an angle, and there's a reason for that. You have a better chance of getting your image straight if it's not on the block straight, because that's where you can mess up sometimes. So with it like this, I'm going to stamp it right there. Love it. Isn't that beautiful? I love the font on this one. Okay, so now we're ready. We got this all ready to go. Let's go ahead and run some glue on the back of our card. And we'll open up our card. And I'm going to try putting it in this way. Something like that. Give it a good press. And that is beautiful. And I think it turned out so pretty. And I hope you did. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you have a beautiful and blessed Tuesday. And there was another thing that I wanted to tell you. And, oh, the seasonal sale. I had a flyer. I posted this on my blog a couple days ago. But this is the flyer for the seasonal sale. It starts the 14th, which is today, and it runs through the 16th. So up until midnight on the 16th, you'll be able to take advantage. 10% off of all ribbons and trim, 15% off of all inks, not your bundled ink pads, only your individual ink pads. And I think it includes your ink reinkers as well. And then 20% off of papers. And I believe that would be the designer series paper. But you can try the cardstock. I'm going to try it and see if I can get. I need some cardstock, so this would be a good time to get it. So I'm going to check and see if it includes the designer series paper and the cardstock. But when I put my stuff in my cart tomorrow, I will shoot a little memo or something out on the Facebook group. So if you haven't joined my Facebook group, please go over and do that. So that's enough of the advertisements. I just want to center in on how pretty this card is. I think it turned out stupendous, and I hope you think so too. Whoops, let's go this way. Wanted to get centered in on this card a little bit more. So I want to thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think of the card, if this is one that you would like to make. It was super easy. And I'll also have this luster wax listed, so if anybody wants to pick that up, you can shop for that from my online store. There is a link already up for that. So have a beautiful day. God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Savior Jesus. He is worthy. So until next time, take care. Know you're loved. Bye-bye.